Hello, welcome to the CRL show. I'm Paul Arandale, flying solo this week. Jeff has come down with a bad case of man flu, so flying solo, we'll do our best. Plenty have happened on the weekend, plenty of good footy, some magic moments are coming up for you very shortly. Also some great tries of the week and big hits of the week. Plus, I caught up with BRL commentator Mike Wilson, had a quick chat with him about the BRL season kicking off this weekend. It had a full start last week due to the bad weather, but this week all systems go, so we can't wait to have the BRL back on deck on BarTV in 2025. All right, lots of magic moments happened this weekend, but we picked out one from the St George Illawarra v South Sydney Rabbitohs game, the Jersey flag match at Collies on the weekend. Unbelievable, you see tries that look very, very similar, but not often you see the first two tries, so almost identical. Here they are, our magic moments. So it goes through the hands here. Good little movement, and Toby Rumble on the wing for the Dragons just gets around his opposite number, almost stumbles, kicks inside. There's three Dragons there lining up for this one, but it's picked up by the 5'8". Eden Hodges scoring the try. Good little celebration. And 12 and a half minutes later, almost the same thing. They go through the hands, and again, Toby Rumble gets on the outside of his winger. He's got support back on the inside. Again, the kick, this time not as clean as the first one, but still the same result for the Dragons, with Lyric Craft Moana Nue scoring the try for the Dragons. So the first two tries, almost identical. That's a magic moment, I thought, so we've added that one in. Also, a magic moment was this one goes out of the New South Wales Rugby League. Couple of games washed out the week before, and they frantically tried to get them on at the home bases at Lismore, tried to go to Byron Bay, I believe it was, but they ended up moving them to Tamworth, 5 games, Johns Daly Cups, Lisa Fiola Regional, Men's and Women's Country Championship. So to move 5 games from one area over the dividing range to play them. So it's would have been a logistic nightmare, not only to just move the games, you got the referees, players and all that. So hats off to that one, and also the one relocating it from Port Macquarie down to Foster Tuncurry. So well done. It's another magic moment there. And finally, our first Falcon for 2025 involves the Warriors and Manly jersey flag. Have a look at this one. I'm not sure if this was planned by the halfback Joey Walsh, but he's just booted it straight into his opposite number, James Marriott of the Warriors. Had no time to get out of the road. But yeah, our first Falcon for 2025. Well done to Joey Walsh, the kicker, and James Marriott for being a good sport to cop that one in the head. So we love a Falcon. If you've seen one that we've missed earlier on, let us know, and we'd love to share it on our social medias. But yeah, a little extra magic moment there. All right, let's get into the results that happened on the weekend. Just a bit of a recap of what happened. First of all, we've got the Knock-On Effect Cup Round 2 results. The Warriors defeating Manly 31-20. The Dragons 30-18 over the Rabbitohs. Penrith 38-10 over the Roosters. Newtown in a close one, 23-22 over the Newcastle Knights. Then on Sunday, Parramatta 20-10 against the Western Suburbs Magpies. A real arm wrestle, that one. And then the final game, Canterbury 46-28 over North Sydney. A lot of points scored in that Knock-On Effect Cup. Jersey flag round 2. The Warriors 28-32. They went down to Manly in a close one there, so the Seagulls getting one back. St George Illawarra 22-18 over Souths. Penrith 46-16 over the Sydney Roosters. Cronulla 38-22 over the Knights. The West Tigers 22 over Parramatta. Melbourne 30-20 over Canterbury, and Canberra 40-22 over the Cavite Silk Tails. That's round 2 of the Jersey flag. Now we move into the Ron Massey Cup. It was round 1, kicking off a week later to the other 2 comps. Round 1 saw results this way. Cabramatta 36-26 over Mounties. Penrith Brothers 28-18 over Canterbury. Ryde Eastwood 24-16 over Wentworthville, and Glebe 38-32 over Hills District. So a lot of points in the Ron Massey Cup round 1. And to wrap things off, St Mary's 62-12 over Blacktown. That's round 1 of the Ron Massey Cup. Sydney Shield round 1. Results looked this way. We had Manly Leagues 32-34 against St Mary's. St Mary's getting another win there. Cabramatta 38-8 over Mounties. Wentworthville 43-10 over Ryde Eastwood. Penrith Brothers 50, Moorebank 6, and Hills Districts 30, Glebe 28. A real close one there. Lots of points rounding out the round 1 at the Sydney Shield. So, a couple more. We've got the country championships. I just touched on them moments ago. These games were supposed to be played last week, but due to the bad weather, they got moved from Lismore to Tamworth. Jack Williston Oval was the venue. Northern Tigers 28-16 in the Leafa Fiala Cup. And the Women's Country Championships, Northern Rivers 32-6 over the Northern Tigers. Men's Country Championships 58-16, Northern Rivers over the Northern Tigers. Andrew Johns Cup, a lot closer this one. Northern Tigers getting the points 16-14 over Northern Rivers. And finally, in the Laurie Daly Cup, 28-6, Northern Rivers over Northern Tigers. So that wraps up the regular season for those boys. At Harry Elliott Oval, Tarn-Curry, was only the 3 games. In the Leafa Fiala Cup, it was North Coast 38-0 over Monaro. In the Laurie Daly Cup, 44-6 North Coast over MacArthur. And in the Andrew Johns Cup, it was MacArthur 48-24 over North Coast. Yeah, so a few results there from the weekend. Obviously, SG Ball, Harold Matts, Tasha Gal Cup, Leafa Fiala, Metro had the week off, so they'll be back in action this week along with the BRL, which we're going to catch up with Mike Wilson now, the commentator of the BRL. It was good to have a quick chat with him, preview the season ahead. There's been a few changes with the BRL, with a few teams dropping out and a few sort of minor name changes, but anyway, we caught up with Mike. Here's what he had to say ahead of the season.
G'day, Paul. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the recent news following ex-Cyclone Alfred that the round 1 had to be postponed. So I'm sure, much like myself, the players are absolutely climbing the walls and ready to get stuck in. Can't wait.
It's nothing new for BarTV to have round 1 of competitions washed out. I think Group 7. 2 years in a row it's happened for them, and Northern Rivers Rugby League as well. So BRL can join that illustrious list of having round 1 washed out. But round 2, technically round 1, I bet you can't wait to dive into it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially with this, it just feels like the end of last season was only yesterday. Just watching some of the quality through the final series, like there was obviously the home and away season in itself, and a lot of teams fighting it out for the finals. And then once we got elbow deep into the finals, like the quality of footy just went up a notch, and it was almost a shame that even though that how good and close the grand final was, it was almost a shame that was the end of the season there. And it just feels like since that moment we've just been dying to get back into it and see how the teams fare this season.
Bit different structure this year. We go from 10 teams down to 7, with Brighton Roosters and Normanby Hounds and Bulimba Bulldogs pulling out. They've all got their own reasons for that we can tuck into shortly, but 17 comp, but the competition extended from 18 rounds to 21. That means you're going to be calling a hell of a lot of football over the year.
Yeah, which is never too much of a bad thing, though. You can't get enough footy.
Yeah, so Brighton Roosters, they've technically they're Redcliffe Dolphins, for a better term, reserve grade or better team, but Normanby Hounds and Bulimba deciding not to compete this year. Is it a surprise to you?
It was a little bit. I mean, I guess on one hand, you're always prepared for, there's always constant restructuring of not just clubs, but the competitions as well. So it's very unlikely you're going to go from one season to the next and everything's going to be identical, especially with, players, team rosters, things like that. So, but yes, I was surprised that we dropped 3 teams, but got more games. But good for the fans who love a rivalry. They might have a team they support, and I'm sure there'll be a bit of a rivalry, for example, between the grand finalists of last year, West Panthers and Wynnum. West will be looking to exact a bit of revenge, and they'll get at least 3 chances at it this year. So it means the teams will meet each other more. I'll get to call more games and hopefully become quite familiar with the stars of the BRL by the end of the season.
All right, round 2 kicks off with Wynnum at home to Redcliffe. Then we got Logan, the Souths Logan. Beenleigh changing their name to Logan this year, and Carina host West with Valleys having the bye. Which one? Any of those games particularly fancy? It's going to be as you said, it's going to be a tight contest. But I guess I'll get your tip as well. Who do you think's going to win the comp this early out?
Oh, that is a big call. I mean, it's like any comp, really. It's so difficult to go back to back. I'm sure Wynnum fans and players alike will want to argue that point with me. But can they sustain or rather pick up where they left off last year to win the grand final? I think they went 10 straight towards the back end of the season. They got to the point where they basically had to win almost every game, and did. And knocked off the Panthers, who were the benchmark for what, 95% of the season. I think it's fair to say. So I am keen to see how Wynnum shape up in the first round, if there's a bit of maybe a hangover from the prior season. But even you look at teams like Carina Tigers, for example, they were there and thereabouts most of the season. They only dropped out right towards the end. They'll see last season as a bit of a missed opportunity, I guess, or what could have been. They will certainly look to hit the ground running early in the season. So I don't know. They could be a smoky. We're yet to see completely what kind of lineups and players will go round again for the teams, and which ones will get the promotions from reserve grade up. There was certainly a few quite a bit of talent in the reserve grades. I'd often go call a game and sit there watching the reserve grade game prior, and the quality of that some of those matches was right up there with the BRL as well. So plenty to look forward to in 2025.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a bumper of a season. We can't wait. We can't wait to hear your voice on the BRL games throughout the year. So yeah, sort of dodged who was going to be your tip to in the comp, which I'll let that slide. But
yeah, I'm good at having splinters in my backside. I'll sit on the fence a fair bit. You got to be impartial as a commentator, and maybe that's all the fans want, just to hear my voice. And now you put my ugly mug on screen actually today, so that's ruined the illusion for a lot of people.
Mate, don't worry about ugly mugs. This one's got scars and everything, battle wounds, so don't worry about that. I think you're winning the stakes there. But round 1, as I said, it's moved to May 24-25. We will see the grand final rematch between Wynnum and Wests. Wynnum going for a 3-peat this year. Obviously, we mentioned about the cyclone. How are the grounds looking? Have you been out and about, and some of the venues, are they looking okay? They're going to be dry in time?
Yeah, look, they should be just in time. I think the local councils were probably giving a bit of benefit of the doubt to this week in like that games could have been played. And they probably just decided, let's just play it safe, because they were still wet underfoot, no question about that. Even after we've had a few days of sunshine, I'm currently talking to you from the Gold Coast at the moment. You can probably see it's pretty sunny in the background there, but a few of the venues are still rather wet underfoot, so don't head out in your best footwear just yet. But should be raring to go. I see the forecast is pretty clear between now and next weekend. Hopefully it stays that way, and yeah, everything should be good to go.
Excellent, Mike. Well, we look forward to hearing your voice throughout the season, and we might get you on midway through the year, just sort of a bit of a report card of how the BRL shaping.
Yeah, definitely look forward to that. That'd be my pleasure to jump on and fill everyone in on what's been happening so far. But hopefully the supporters out there can get to as many games as they possibly can. The BRL always needs as much support as it can possibly get, and it's always good to mingle with as many fans as possible at the games. But of course, if you can't get there, always tune into BarTV. Always a live game available for you if you can't get to the ground yourself.
Excellent, mate. Well put. We'll speak to you soon, mate. All the best for the season ahead.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, good to catch up with Mike. Always good to catch up with him. Hopefully we'll have a few words from him throughout the year just to see how things are going with the BRL. But, yeah, can't wait for the season to kick off up there. Round 2, technically round 1 after last week. Logan Pride at home to South Logan. I guess that's a local derby. Wynnum hosts Redcliffe. Wynnum looking for 3 in a row this year. And on Sunday, we've got Carina v West Brisbane. That is the feature match on BarTV. Valleys have the bye. So Carina v West Brisbane Panthers, that's the feature match. So look out for that one. All right, let's get into some tries of the week. All right, the first one, Jordan Hill from Wentworthville Magpies, a Ron Massey Cup, kick, a deflection, picked up, run away here from the number 14. I think that's Zach Hunter. Jordan Hill, here he is on screen now. Still had a fair bit of work to do. Had to get around the 5'8" for the Hawks, and he come around to improve it. Nice, gentle put down in the end. Well done, Jordan. Turoa Williams, Glebe Dirty Reds. It all started from a dummy half run from Owen Flaherty. Puts the kick in, bit of a deflection, pops up beautifully for Williams across. Good little try there from the Glebe Dirty Reds. Try 3 is Jonathan Sewer of the Canterbury Bulldogs. Kick goes up in the air. The Bears just let it bounce, watch it. Then Sewer just picks it up, just cuts through. He beats about 6 or 7 players here. Shows a great amount of pace to weave his way through there, and the poor old Bears just couldn't match it with Sewer with a great try for the Bulldogs in the knock-on effect cup. Kade Moujalli here, Hills Bulls here. Beware of the double kick. There was the first one, picked up here on the bounce. That was Luke Simpson, pops it in here. Now Luke Simpson puts it on the toe, and Kade backing up, scoring a good try from the halfback there against Glebe Dirty Reds. And finally, the Northern Tigers, Mary Arandale with an intercept on a try line. Northern Rivers were going to score, and Mary's just plucked this out. She's ran 100 metres plus to go over untouched. So well done to Mary. They're our tries of the week. If you think you've seen better, let us know. But that last one was an absolute ripper. So, yeah, if you've seen better, let us know. We'll share them on our social media pages on BarTV throughout the week. But some pretty damn good tries there, especially that last one. All right. Well, we've caught up with Mike. We'll go through the big hits. Actually, no, we'll go through what's happening this week on BarTV. So plenty of footy happening on BarTV this week. It's round 3 of the Knock-On Effect Cup. It all kicks off Friday with the Warriors at home to the Sydney Roosters at Go Media Stadium. Then on Saturday, we've got 2 games. Newtown host Penrith at Shark Park. That's a bit weird, but anyway, the Jets at Shark Park against Penrith. Western Suburbs and North Sydney at Leafa Oval. Then on Sunday, you have Parramatta against Canterbury at Combank, Manly at home to Canberra at Four Pines Park, and Newcastle take on Penrith at Lakeside. I believe that Newcastle v Penrith game is actually on Saturday, not Sunday, so apologies there. St George Illawarra have the bye. That's round 3 of the Knock-On Effect Cup. Move into round 3 of the Jersey Flag. All games on Saturday. We've got the Warriors at home to Sydney. Cronulla hosts Souths. Cavite Silktails, their first home game against St George Illawarra. Parramatta and Canterbury. Newcastle v Penrith and Melbourne v West Tigers. And the one game on Sunday is Manly v Canberra. Round 2 of the Ron Massey Cup. On Saturday we have Mounties at home to St Mary's. Ryde Eastwood take on Glebe. Wentworthville at home to Penrith Brothers. Canterbury travel to take on Cabramatta. Then on Sunday we have Blacktown v Hills Bulls. That's round 2 of the Ron Massey Cup. Round 2 of the Sydney Shield looks this way. On Saturday, Mounties at home to St Mary's. The Hawks take on the Dirty Reds. Wentworthville at home to Penrith Brothers. Cabramatta host Moorebank, and Manly at home to Hills Bulls. That's round 2 of the Sydney Shield. SG Ball, round 7. Penrith at home to Souths. West take on Parramatta. Newcastle take on Canterbury. Melbourne at home to Canberra. Illawarra host Norths, and Balmain and Sydney do battle. St George at home to New Zealand, and Cronulla at home to Manly. That's round 7 of the SG Ball. Harold Matts, round 7, pretty much looks the same. West at home to Parramatta. Newcastle host Canterbury up there at Raymond Terrace. Canberra v Sydney. Illawarra do battle with Norths. Central Coast host Melbourne at Berkeley Vale. Souths at home to Penrith at Redfern. Balmain do battle with New Zealand Warriors. Cronulla and Manly also in battle at, I believe that's Shark Park. Don't hold me to that, but St George have the bye. That's round 7 of the Harold Matts. Leafa Fiola Cup, the Metro, round 7. They're back after a week off. Cronulla at home to Sydney. Souths take on Penrith. Illawarra v Manly. Newcastle v Canterbury. Canberra take on Norths. And West Tigers host Parramatta with St George having the bye. That is round 7 of the Leafa Fiola Cup Metro. Tarsha Gale Cup, round 7. Cronulla take on Sydney. Souths and Penrith do battle at Redfern. Illawarra host Manly at Collies. Newcastle v Canterbury at Raymond Terrace. Canberra v Norths at Raiders Belconnen. And West Tigers host Parramatta with St George having the bye. There are a few Johns Daly Cup fixtures and the men's and women's country championships. Well, I'll put them below now. That's as we're recording this. We didn't actually have the official fixtures, but they're at the bottom of your screen there for you. So I know that Cessnock are hosting the northern side, and Collies are also hosting fixtures as well. But getting to the pointy end of the Johns Daly Cup and the men's and women's country championships. So, lots of footy happening on BarTV. As I mentioned there, after that interview with Mike Wilson, BRL kicks off round 2. Technically round 1 after the washout. Logan Pride hosts Souths Logan. Wynnum take on Redcliffe, and Carina and West Brisbane. That is the feature match on BarTV. So, keep your eyes pasted to BarTV. Any changes happen, make sure you check out the website on BarTV. All right, we'll go to the big hits of the week, wrapping things up. We're getting through this. Things seem to go pretty quick when I'm by myself. Maybe there's something in that, Jeff. We're crap on too much. Anyway, big hits of the week. Here are what we thought were pretty damn big hits. All right, first one is Edward Kosi, the New Zealand Warriors there. Just picked out his opposite number there, just line him up. And ball goes flying. Colin Muhleisen here, St George Illawarra, just got the Rabbitohs guy right under the ribs on his line. Great defence. Keep an eye out from him. South Sydney Rabbitohs, Zane Watson there, just stopped his opposite number in the tracks. Also, the hooker for the Dragons got taken out too of a beauty, so it was a double whammy there. Jarvis Leafa of Mounties here just lines this bloke up and just knocks him 2 metres sideways. Good shot there. And our final one is Connor Masons of St Mary's. Again, just lines his opposition up and just lifts him up and drives him into the turf. Nice solid hit there from Connor Mason. So there are big hits of the week. If you've seen better, let us know. We'd love to share them on our social media pages. Anyway, that's pretty much it. CRL show done and dusted. I said Paul Arandale flying solo this week. Jeff is at home resting up with a man flu. Hopefully he'll be back on deck next week, and we'll have his usual segment of around the groups. Plenty of trials happening, so local footy not too far away. A few competitions kicking off in April, so the boys and girls are back out on the paddock in preparation for a big 2025. There's plenty happening on BarTV Sports Rugby League wise, so check back if you want your comp on BarTV. Get in contact with us at contact@bartvsports.com.au. We'd love to have your comp or at least your team involved in 2025. All right, That's it from the CRL show this week. Paul Arandale signing off. Hopefully Jeff will be back next week. But if you can't see the games on BarTV, or you can't get to a game, I should say, make sure you tune into BarTV Sports. It's the next best place in the house. We'll catch you next week.